If you're here, it's because you're interested in Wagner's opera Tristan und Isolde. What sort of experience can you expect when you listen to or see Tristan und Isolde in terms of music, singing and drama? Let's go. This is an opera that takes its time. A complete performance lasts 4 hours, more or less, so it needs concentration, which will be richly rewarded, and it is a good idea, if listening to an audio recording, to follow the libretto. This prelude, the style of which was very new in its day, is obviously a taste of what is to come in terms of the music in the opera. It is a music of yearning, of anticipation and of suffering, suited to Wagner's take on the Tristan and Isolde story. It is a love story. Now, in most, though not absolutely all, operas, the love between the two characters, usually sung by a tenor and a soprano, is itself taken for granted and is the cause of much of the action of the opera, jealousy, conflict, or heroic or rash deeds, etc. Here, the relationship between the two characters is itself the subject and is explored and developed throughout the opera. At the start, the relationship is characterized by antagonism and resentment. Almost the first thing that Isolde does is to wish for the destruction of the ship which is carrying Tristan and herself to Cornwall, where she is to marry Tristan's master, King Mark. But Isolde's feelings are clearly ambiguous. When she catches sight of Tristan standing further along the deck, she sings a phrase in which the rising theme associated with longing is followed by the falling one evoking death. This is an illustration of the particular way that Wagner combines text and music, in which the orchestra has a very important role, often playing a theme which takes on a particular meaning, while the singer either sings the same theme or has a different melody or is silent. There is a striking moment in Isolde's account of how she had a chance to kill the injured Tristan, having recognized him as an enemy, but dropped the sword she was wielding when she saw the way he looked at her. Here, the theme of yearning clearly reveals that there is love on Isolde's part, and maybe on Tristan's too, before they even drink the love potion. But the conflict comes back when Isolde, having recounted to Brangäne how Tristan betrayed her and returned to fetch her so that she could be the king's wife, curses him. This antagonism is maintained and comes to a head when Isolde refuses to disembark from the ship taking her to King Mark, insisting that Tristan first come and drink with her as a mark of atonement. But she orders Brangäne, her servant, to serve them from among the various potions that her mother gave her when she left, a deadly poison. This is another moment when Wagner's use of leitmotifs, or guiding motifs, is very clear. When Brangäne opens the casket and takes out the love potion, we hear the music of the love theme, which is replaced by the ominous theme of the poison when Isolde tells her that she has taken the wrong one. Tristan correctly guesses Isolde's intentions and defiantly drinks with her. But the distraught servant has given them the love potion instead, and after drinking it, they are surprised to find themselves alive and fall into each other's arms. This is when the ship berths, and they have to face the king's welcome in a trance-like state as the first act comes to an end. When the second act starts, an unspecified amount of time has passed. Isolde is waiting for Tristan to join her, taking advantage of a nighttime hunting party which has taken the king and his knights away from the castle. We hear the hunting horns receding slowly into the distance as Isolde waits until it is safe for Tristan to approach. When the moment is right, Tristan arrives, the music expressing their panting anticipation. This marks the beginning of what is probably the longest love duet in all opera, lasting nearly 40 minutes. There are moments of gentle intensity, This association of love with the night, the rejection of the rationality and the duties associated with the day, move towards a mystical acceptance of death, which is seen as desirable and not at all as an end to their passion. As they sing, lost in their feelings, the servant Brangäne keeps watch and warns them that they must be cautious. Their dialogue becomes more passionate as they imagine the endless bliss that awaits them, but is then interrupted by the king, who has returned on the suggestion of Melot, one of the courtiers, who had suspected the love affair. Wagner gives King Mark a long, sad monologue to sing, far from the clichés of the wronged husband that exist in other operas, whether it be in the comic mode or that of drama and revenge. Here, Mark is dignified and heartbroken, simply asking again and again, why? Tristan doesn't answer Mark's question, but turning to Isolde, he asks her if she will follow him into the land of night and death that they had previously imagined. Having received confirmation from Isolde, Tristan provokes Melot into a fight and deliberately falls on his opponent's sword as the curtain falls to mark the end of the second act. The third act opens in a very sombre mood. The seriously wounded Tristan has been brought to his ancestral home in Brittany, and Corvenal has sent for Isolde in the hope that she can once again heal him. The shepherd has been told to look out and to play a cheerful tune on his pipes when he sees Isolde's ship approaching, but for now he only plays his melancholy air. Most of this act consists of a monologue expressing Tristan's suffering, interspersed with some interactions with his servant Corvinal. In his mystical musings, he first of all regrets that he has awoken from his death-like slumber, finding himself in the world of day and life instead of in the world of night and death, into which he had invited Isolde to follow him. Having been told that Isolde has been sent for, he imagines that she is already arriving, only to be disappointed by the shepherd's sad song. Eventually, his imaginings correspond to reality, and the shepherd plays a cheerful melody, confirming that Isolde's ship has been sighted. Corvinal hurries down to the shore to fetch Isolde. Meanwhile, Tristan, in an excess of impatience, paradoxically welcomes the light of this joyful day and in his delirium tears the bandages off his wounds. Isolde then enters, and he dies in her arms with his name on her lips. Leaving Isolde to regret that she came too late for them to die together. There is an episode of more dramatic action when the king arrives on a second ship and Corvinal and Melot fight and kill each other. Then Isolde comes to the fore again, and in a final famous aria known as the Liebestod, the love-death, she seems to see Tristan still living, beckoning to her. She enters a sort of trance and dies as if transfigured, as Wagner writes, imagining herself reunited with Tristan. This brings the opera to an end, not so much in a tragic tone as in a mood of serenity and liberation.